This is Focus on Your Health. It's brought to you by Kingman Regional Medical Center in historic Kingman, Arizona. I'm TG LaFredo, and every week on the program, I bring you stories about health and wellness from KRMC and the community it serves. And sometimes it's just nice to talk a little bit more about the community it serves. Today, my guests are from the Kingman Center for the Arts and Beale Street Theater. I have with me Kristina Michelson. She's the Executive Director of the Kingman Center for the Arts. Hey, Kristina, welcome.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you. And your son, Spencer Michelson, you're with us too. Hey, Spencer.
What up?
Welcome. And also Krystal Dooley. She's a director with the theater. Hey, Krystal.
Hi.
Welcome. And we have another secret guest who's here, but declined the microphone, so I guess we won't mention her. She's just here to document and take pictures.
Only the good ones.
Only the good, that's right. Yeah, only good pictures, only my good side. If you find it, let me know. So, we're talking about Kingman Center for the Arts, and before we really get into what you guys have been up to, I know there's been a lot going on there, we want to promote a couple of big events that you have coming up. So let's begin with that. Kristina, talk about the Right Crucible. That's a race that's coming up very soon.
Yes, this one happens next Saturday on March 24th. It happens out at the Lingenfelter property across from the airport. This is sponsored by the Right Sea and is a fundraiser for us to use on the renovation project for the Beale Street Theater. We did this last year, and it was so much fun. It is a great activity for your families to come out. There is a 5K race with 10 obstacles and also a 1-mile fun run for the kids under 8. You can find more information on active.com, or you can register at Shift Gym or get information at the gallery at KCA, downtown, which is at 208 East Beale Street.
Right. I have a note here that is the cost is $30 to enter for the 5K and $40 with a t-shirt, and also $10 for the 1-mile run, because kids 8 and under, right, they're not on the full course. They get to do the 1-mile run.
They divide that out. Got it.
And I see that your packet pickup is March 23rd, which is also the last day to register for this. So register at active.com. And this is a cool, fun opportunity. I have a note here that says that the obstacles will have theater themes. What is it? I'm getting a sideways glance. Maybe is that top secret for now?
No, we haven't worked that out yet. So there will be a theater element. We've got volunteers coming in that will have some activities for the public.
Got it.
Along those lines.
And Krystal Dooley, one of your other upcoming events that you're using as a fundraiser is a dinner theater production.
Yes, the dinner theater production is a production of Take 5 by Wesley M. Peterson. This is going to take place on March 30th and 31st. Dinner is at 6 p.m., performance at 7 p.m. both nights. The cost is $30 and includes dinner and your tickets, and it's at the Grand Event Center. You can get tickets at bealestreettheater.com ahead of time or call 395-319-5238. And all of the proceeds of this event benefit the Beale Street Theater renovation project.
Right. And just one more time, for tickets, you can visit bealestreettheater.com or call 395-319-5238.
Exactly. And it will be so much fun. You will be entertained. You will have a great experience.
Very cool. Dinner theater in Kingman, Arizona. I mean, that is cool, right? So why do we need a theater and an arts culture in general here in Kingman?
Arts and culture really play a big part in a healthy society, especially for the vulnerable groups that exist here in Kingman. We have made a lot of contact with the teen population here. Many of you have seen, if you go into the schools, you know a lot of them struggle with really hard home life situations and family situations, and they don't get a lot of good mentoring out there. And so with the Beale Street Theater, watching a lot of the productions that we've put on, I've seen the mentoring going on, and I've seen these kids have their lives changed from the experience of being in a live theater production. It's a tangible, meaningful experience, and it's almost like they're being pulled into a family. I know with Peter Pan, we spent a lot of long hours in rehearsals, and we were looking after the kids, and their families were involved, and it was a great experience for a lot of them. And to have their parents come and tell them that they're proud of them for something that I know some of them hadn't heard that from their parents before. So it was very touching to watch that interaction. When you were beginning this work with the theater group, did you expect that that would be part of the experience? Did you just have an idea like, hey, we'll put on plays, kids and the community, adults will come in and act? Or did you know that there'd be a lot more of the personal stuff that would go into it? I think I knew a little bit that it would impact the kids. Before we started this, I was volunteering in the schools on a limited basis, and I saw a lot of the struggles that they had, and I knew that they needed more support from the community to help these kids. The teachers work so hard to get these kids into college and where they need to be, but they a lot of times become like another parent that the kids take advantage of and take for granted. And when they get into the community and they're able to interact with a lot more adult mentors, it can really change their outlook on their futures. You've seen this, and we won't name anybody by name, but with some of your young actors and actresses, you've seen real personal growth. Yes, I have. And there was one young man who was very uncomfortable with who he was when I first met him in the schools, and after participating with us in the Peter Pan production, his whole being changed. When I went into the school the next year and saw him, he was like a whole different person. We've had kids who had troubles with suspensions and behavior problems at the high schools and have been enrolled in the alternative high schools, and they've come to us and participated in productions. And again, it's given them a whole different outlook on where they want to be when they grow up. Spencer Michelson, you are 16. Well, you're a week shy of 16. Yes. So you're a student and you've acted in some of these productions. Yes. What was your experience like? A lot of it was really fun. A lot of times, I would have a bad day and then go to rehearsal or whatever for Scrooge or Peter Pan, and it would just, everybody there was happy and having fun, so it kind of like puts the mood on it, and then it all kind of pays off in the end because you all come together, you have a great time, and you get meet a lot of new people, and you get to just have a good time with other people. How many performances of each of the plays did you do? Is it usually it's about 4 or 5 of each one, something like that? Yeah, I've done Scrooge, and then I've also done Peter Pan, and then it was when we were just starting up, I did one of the teen plays that they did in the very beginning. And how many, so for those 4 or 5 performances, how long are you guys in rehearsal to prepare for that? We just do rehearsal, kind of depends on the part. Yeah. Bigger parts, you spend a lot more time. You should spend a lot more time alone and with the, people who you are performing with. But it usually only takes like about an evening for the week, just like one evening, and then just like a weekend, and like for smaller parts, it's usually like less, like twice every week, for rehearsal. But did you find it challenging? Did you jump right in and felt fairly natural to you, or was it tough? For the smaller parts, for me personally, yes, but I don't know, like a lot of other kids and people who want to come join, it's not really necessarily super challenging, but there is some challenging things about the doing plays and stuff like that, and memorizing your lines and things. But I'm wondering, I don't want to put you on the hot seat here, but like big picture, when you think about your experience with it, what did you learn? Did you aside from just what it takes to act in a play, did you come away from it thinking something deeper about yourself or your position in the world, or did you have any of those sorts of thoughts, or was it kind of just a fun gig for you? At first it was kind of just a fun gig, but especially Peter Pan, when we were done with that, I really I'm excited to get to do more productions and stuff like that, because it kind of gives you
a reason to, wake up every day. And like I said, you meet a lot of new people, and so it gives you a bigger picture of like, you can do this for like a career or whatever.
Yeah.
And, it could be a fun gig if you want it to, but for the most part, like for me personally, it really just helps me like, get up every day in the morning and like, just practice a lot of, more with plays and stuff.
Yeah.
So.
And Kristina, we're talking about how it's affected young people, but also you have older people, retirees even, in the community who are involved in what you do.
Yes, we have an art gallery downtown at 208 East Beale Street, and that gallery puts on a new show every month. Every first Friday, we have a new show that comes in, and the volunteers that participate in that are largely from the retired community. And it's been wonderful to see so many new friendships develop, and it gives an outlet for a lot of these people who are retired and may not have a lot of other things to do around town, have a purpose to get up in the morning, as one of our volunteers said. So it's been a great thing. And then some of them will sell art at the gallery, and that can supplement a limited income, which is very helpful for a lot of these people. But the biggest thing, I think, is just the sense of community that they are able to bring. And some of them do participate on our theater production side as well, and have enjoyed getting involved in that.
It's break time on Focus on Your Health. We'll be back in a moment for more. Stick around. Support for the Arizona Community Radio Network is provided by Kingman Regional Medical Center. KRMC is pleased to welcome Rochelle Ferris, a family nurse practitioner at Sunshine Canyon Family Health Care. Rochelle specializes in primary care for patients of all ages. For more information or to schedule an appointment, call 681-8708. KRMC. Welcome back to Focus on Your Health. I'm T.G. LaFredo, and this week my guests are Krystal Dooley, Kristina Michelson, and Spencer Michelson, all from the Kingman Center for the Arts and Beale Street Theater. Krystal, you are a director with the theater, and we've touched a little bit on what goes into putting on a play, a performance. Can you give us some more insight into that, the whole process and what it entails?
Where do you want me to start?
It's hard, right? Well, okay. You know that you want to put on a play this season, so how do you go about selecting a work?
When we choose a work, it's a lot of discussion on shows that could work in the area with the demographic that we have first. And then we kind of narrow that down to what's available, because we have to make sure that the copyright's available, which sometimes they're not, and sometimes they are. It depends. And then at that point, when we finally make a decision, it's usually a few months before we decide to start auditions. And then we will order the copyright material, and we pay for it. It's expensive.
And people may not realize this, right? They probably think you pick out a play and perform it, but you have to pay some heavy royalties.
Yes, and that's just the beginning.
Yeah.
Yeah, we pay the royalties, and if it's a more well-known show, it's going to be a more expensive royalty. But we definitely take into consideration what the community would enjoy as well, as we do this all for the community. So then we choose our show, and we receive the rights usually about 8 weeks before the show starts. So we have about 8 to 10 weeks to audition and then rehearse and then perform. Before we get the scripts and our package, that's kind of a busy time for production, because we are figuring out, first of all, where we're going to have this, which will be amazing when it is in our own theater. But for now, we've had to choose different venues. So that's kind of been something. And it's also an expense for us too. So we take that into consideration. And then we decide where to have it. We start getting a production crew together. This is much before our package comes, much before auditions, many months before. And we start working on the set. We start working on costumes. We have a meeting or two with our production people. And then auditions come. And a couple weeks later, we start rehearsals. And like Spencer said, it's usually 2, 3, sometimes 4 times a week, depending on your part. And it's always a lot of fun. And then we get to the end and it's a lot of work, but everyone has a great time. And then we perform.
As the performance date is nearing, does it become a crazy, sleepless, just insomniac fit?
For me.
Yeah.
We joked with Peter Pan that we just moved into Kingman High School for the 2 weeks before that one started.
Right. Is everyone associated with it a volunteer?
At this point, yes.
At this point, yes. So everyone's doing this for the love. And what is the satisfaction? When you finish the performance, you put in all that labor and all that time for no material gain. What is the gain that you do take from it?
Some would say the applause.
Yeah. Just the adulation.
Just the adrenaline that you get from being on stage. And it's not for everyone, but for a lot of people, it is totally worth it to stand there on closing night and hear the applause and see the faces on the people watching you and knowing that you have entertained a crowd, entertained an audience, or at least have been a small part of entertaining that crowd for that amount of time. And that is just the biggest reward.
Do you have young actors who come away from the experience saying, that wasn't just entertaining this crowd, this is it, this is my purpose in life? I mean, have you had people like that?
Yes, we absolutely have. And it's actually surprising that, and I think Kristina can say too, we feel super blessed to have come upon this project because, growing up, I didn't grow up in Kingman, but since I was a little girl, we've been to shows. We went to plays and all of this. We moved to Bullhead 7 years ago. We moved to Kingman 3 years ago, but in Bullhead for 4 years, there was no theater. And my little kids never saw theater. And then we started this project, and I feel so lucky to have found Kristina and be a part of this. But after some of these shows, people have come up to us and said, this is my first theater performance that I've ever seen. I've never seen live theater. And the first person that came up to me after a show and told me that, I was so surprised. But now that we've kind of brought this into the community and people are remembering that are older that did theater back when Kingman had theater, it's great for them. And then these new kids that had come up and they are so excited that they found something that they can do for hours and it feels like 5 minutes. And if you find something like that, you stick with it. And obviously that's not theater for everyone, but everyone has something that is like that to them.
Yeah. Go ahead, Kristina.
I'd like to add too, so much of what we experience today is in digital format with movies and computers and phones and all of that. And being in a live theater production or any live performing arts experience, it engages you in a way that nothing else does. And it leaves a lasting and meaningful imprint on your soul.
And this is part of why it's been so important for you to have a permanent home for I know you and the Kingman Center for the Arts team, you guys have been working like crazy to have this permanent home. Can you talk a little bit about that effort?
Yes, that was one of the things that when we first decided we needed to bring arts and culture to Kingman, that was probably the biggest gulf that we found, was there was no performing arts venues outside of the high schools and the churches. And those are problematic because you're constantly having to bow to their schedules. And so we looked at the old theater that's located on 3rd and Beale Street, and the Peterson, Sarah and Nate Peterson, went and purchased that property in the beginning And then we worked really hard to build up our nonprofit and build our support system so that we could take ownership of that facility. And we are happy to have that become under our auspices as of January, that we do own the theater now. And so we are working in earnest to get the renovation project started, but it is very expensive to do this. And a lot of people in the community may not realize how hard it is to get large sums of money. We are looking into grant funding, but a lot of the companies and foundations, they want to see a track record of how you're going to use the money.
Yeah. It's
and
tough
so
when you're just
it'll
launching
take 2
it,
or
right?
3 years before we can really get that kind of money. And the building needs attention now. Every time it rains, that gets water damage inside of the building. And it kills me that we have to, every time it rains, you
have to go
shudder.
empty the buckets.
Going on. So our first phase to get the roof fixed and get the damage that's happening is about $200,000. And then when we reach that, we can start the renovation project in earnest. And so we appreciate any monetary support that the community can give us, even if it's just a little bit. If a lot of people give a little bit, it adds up. Yeah. And we have been so grateful for the donations that we've received so far. We use the money that we earn from the productions to go towards that renovation project also.
Spencer was talking about a plan to collect about $250,000. It just involved what?
Yeah.
Going door to door.
Yeah.
No, you were saying $10 a person.
So yeah, like a lot of us think that, I can't, donate, money because I don't have a lot of money to donate. But think about it. If the whole entire population of Kingman just pitched in $10, we'd have plenty enough, to get up off our feet and start renovating the theater. So like even if it is $10, we'd still be plenty happy to accept,
You've had some community partners along the way, some different groups that have gotten on board with you.
Yes, we have been overwhelmed with the support that we've gotten from the community, from every aspect of it, from the city and the businesses in the area. One of our biggest supporters, of course, is KRMC. They are very interested in seeing something like this come to Kingman because it benefits the population as a whole and encourages a healthier lifestyle and the things, healthier families and that kind of stuff. So we are appreciative to them. A lot of the companies will donate towards our set costs, which can be extensive. So we've had True Value's been a great supporter of that, and Home Depot and even Lowe's down in Bullhead has given us support for that. But there are so many businesses, it's hard to name them all.
Understood. You don't want to neglect anybody. I get that. I talked with Scott Kern here at KRMC. He's the Director of Community Relations and Development. I told him we were doing this interview, and he just said, we're so excited about this. This is the group that the Kingman Center for the Arts and what they're doing here is just so important for this town. It's this certain healthy, wonderful, what do you do on a weekend in Kingman that's good and healthy and positive and pro-social?
Yeah, and there's a big, I don't know how to say it. There is a lack of family entertainment. Yeah. There's a lot to do if you want to go downtown on date night or whatever with your spouse. There's activities to do down there, but as a family, that's kind of been neglected around here, and that's one of our goals is to offer more projects and entertainment for people to bring their kids and grandkids to.
Yeah. Krystal, you are directing a play coming up for the theater. Can you talk a little bit about it?
Sure. I am directing Seven Brides for Seven Brothers coming up. We are very excited for the attention that we've gotten from the young community to come and be involved in our community theater, but we also have an adult community that have kind of come out of the woodworks that have wanted to be involved as well. And it has been a great light in their lives too. We've had a couple of actors that have never been on stage before that have performed for us, and they have been spectacular. They have found a new reason to get up in the morning and a new hobby that brings them a lot of joy and satisfaction. I was actually just thinking about, the actor John Mahoney.
I don't. Will there be a quiz on this?
He was the dad in Frasier, just recently passed away.
Okay, yeah.
He didn't start his acting career until he was almost 40. And I think that there might be, just possibly, a good amount of people out there in Kingman who maybe never thought that they wanted to do theater or never did it before, but they might actually have some great talent. And we're kind of looking for more of an adult age range for our next show coming up, Seven Brides for Seven Brothers. We're asking for ages 14 and older for that production to come out and audition. March 24th and March 30th, you can find information on our website, bealestreettheater.com. We are asking actors to come prepared with 16 measures of a song and a 1-minute monologue. What else would you like to know?
That's a pretty good start. Do you have a performance time sketched out?
Yes, we will be performing this at Kingman High School on May 31st, June 1st, and June 2nd.
Very cool. That's good. I'm really testing your memory. You didn't have any notes on that, so
yes,
you passed that test.
Thanks.
We have given a bunch of. But by the way, before we sum this up, you mentioned volunteers. Do you need volunteers?
We love volunteers.
Yeah.
There's so much to be done in Kingman, so many possibilities. And the more people we have, the more we can do and the more impact we make. So we are always happy to have people come and help us out. If you would like to do that, you can contact us at info@kingmanarts.org and let us know that you're interested in volunteering, and we would be happy to have you join us.
Great. And we've given a bunch of different events coming up, and we've talked about volunteering or about donating. And the best places to do that would be your websites, bealestreettheater.com or kingmanarts.org. Does that sound correct?
That's correct.
All right. And before we go, let's just summarize. You do have these events coming up. The Right Crucible is next Saturday, March 24th at 8 a.m. That is at the Neil Grace Parkway. It is a 5K obstacle race with theater themes yet to be named. And for more information on that, it's $30 to join or $40 for a t-shirt. You also have a 1-mile fun run for kids 8 and under. For them, it is a $10 entry fee or $20 with the t-shirt. And that's sponsored by the Right C. And packet pickup is March 23rd. And visit active.com or Beale Street Theater for more information and to register. And also you have the Beale Street Dinner Theater production of Take 5. You're doing 3 different shows. March 30th is the dinner is at 6 p.m. and the performance is at 7 p.m. And on March 31st, you have 2 shows, dinner at 4, performance at 5, and then later dinner at 6, performance at 7. This is all taking place at the Grand Event Center, 515 Beale Street, and tickets are $30 and include dinner. And it will be a lot of fun, and you can also really help with the theater's funding efforts here. Did I get all that right?
Very good.
Very good. Okay, for more information, you can visit bealestreettheater.com or you can call 395-319-5238, and that number again is 395-319-5238. Krystal Dooley, Kristina Michelson, and Spencer Michelson, along with a top-secret unnamed photographer. Thank you all so much for joining me.
Thank you for having us.
Lovely to be here.
Yeah, thank you.
And that is Focus on Your Health. I'm TG LaFredo. Thank you so much for listening. If you'd like to get in touch with me, you can send me an email at foyhradio@gmail.com. That's Focus on Your Health. foyhradio@gmail.com. We'll catch you next time. Let's blame somebody who's not here in the room. That will make us all feel better.